Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be reacting to Konstantin, but before we do that, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, you guys can come and watch this live on Twitch, Malakai 0811. And if you want to know when I'm going live on Twitch, come to my Instagram, which is the same, and then tweet me ideas on what you want to see on Twitter as well. And let's get into it. Konstantin, the total cost to build my dream YouTube studio.
In this video, I'm going to give you a detailed breakdown cost of everything I've bought and installed for my new YouTube studio. Every single cost that was involved. To see the final figure at the end, it's going to be very scary for me, because no matter how much you budget, you always end up going a bit over. And I've learned a lot of valuable lessons on the way during this whole build. And just to give you a scope of the size of this place, is 132 square meters. So how much rent do you pay on an empty building like this? And I mean, to own a building like this will probably be something that I definitely can't afford right now. So renting is the only option for me. And I spend £2,000 a month on rent itself, just for that empty building. Insane. So over the past 6 months, I have paid £12,000 in rent. But the landlord was kind enough to give me 1 month free for when I was getting, started up and I was building, and adding value to his building. All in all, 6 months rent, £10,000 spent. We're starting off with a big figure already. Now, I already had a smaller studio before that was, packed with a whole bunch of stuff, including this Chesterfield chair, some desks and whatnot. So I had to hire a big van to help me move everything. And that included 2 people for 1 day, and that cost me £648. And for anybody that's also had their own building projects or home renovations, you might have noticed how the price of literally every single material has skyrocketed. As you can see, I had a lot of material to purchase. The project started off with this room that you're staring at right now. This is the kit room. It's my storage space. This is where I keep all the light stands, camera bags and whatnot. And this was the first room to be built. This is where it all began back in my first studio video update. And this part of the studio was the first to be constructed. And we started by putting up several walls, a doorway, a loft hatch, and access to the second floor. So for the total price of timber used in this whole project added up to £2,417.68. Boy, I like timber, but I don't like it that much. I don't like it 2.5 grand's worth. Imagine, prices before were almost half the cost. So this could have cost me even half the price if I was building it before the mad boom of materials. Just think about how many standing desks I could have bought. This loft hatch costs £140. It costs me 140 quid if I want to go from here to upstairs. Now, these I purchased years ago when I had my previous studio, so I moved them from my old studio to this studio. They were purchased from Homebase and they cost me 150 quid each. So I've got 3 of them here, so that's 450 quid on storage. You can see they do a good job. It's just that I don't do a good job at staying organized. So once all the stud work was built, all the walls then had to be covered up in plasterboard. So you see all of this? This is all plasterboard. And that includes this room, all the ceilings, and the room upstairs. The total cost that I spent on plasterboards, £2,302.78. But at least that gave a structure to all the rooms. Oh, it's not just the rooms, it's all of this upstairs bit as well. See all of that? That was all plasterboarded. But once all the plasterboard got attached onto the stud work, the studio started taking shape. My vision was coming to life. So once the kit room and the green room were constructed, it allowed us to bridge the 2 rooms together and help us create an upstairs area. Let me take you upstairs and show you the room that was created. These stairs that I'm sitting on were all constructed as one piece. So they all came pre-built and they cost £269.38. Oh, this handrail, £60. And this is the upstairs room. For this room, I'm planning to develop it a bit more. Still haven't had a chance to do that. I want like a big desk here. So
I feel like this room's pointless right now.
Ideas, a couple of bean bags dotted around. We've just created this room out of nowhere. And it's great to be able to have this extra floor space once we bridge the 2 rooms off together. Do you like doors, Jack? I love doors. You love doors, yeah? Do you know how much I love doors? I love doors
I was gonna guess, but you already showed it.
£62.27. That's how much I love doors. Well, I'll tell you what, we went for some basic fire doors, right? But they're still pricey. See this? People asking me, why do I have such small doors? I bought one big door, cut it in half, so I ain't got to like spend more money on doors.
Oh my
and plus,
God.
this is like storage space. You could just crawl in there and do what you need to do and come back out. It's not designed to be a full-size door. A lot of people will probably tell me I could spend less on doors, but I don't like the cheap, flimsy doors. I like a nice, solid door. It makes me feel...
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Like a man.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a man when I can slam the door and it makes a good sound. A door here, so that's what, 3 doors? And we've got these big doors. These are my favorite ones. Look at that. This lock with the keypad, 30 quid. This handle, 20 quid each. That's 40 quid just to have nice handles and doors. These brackets, 12 quid. Switches and sockets, I spent a grand total of £151.93 on. They add up quick, I tell you. Especially when you want to go for the fancy ones that blend into your design. Now, I could have gone for white ones, which would have been so much cheaper. They would have been like £1 each. But no, I had to, you know, be stylistic and, and get good looking ones. Skirting and...
I mean, couldn't you get white ones and just paint over in the paint you use for the walls?
All the decorative bits. £70.40. This window, I actually got it from a skip. So this window was free. And for the glass windows, including the frames and the locks on them, managed to grab them up for a really good bargain at £120. The cost of insulating rooms. Now, this is a building in a building, so we didn't need to do much insulation, to be honest. I mainly wanted insulation between walls for soundproofing purposes.
Yeah.
So we had the ceiling insulated, these walls, and the walls upstairs. And in total on insulation, I spent £112.
Oh, that is cheap. I thought that would be way more.
4 aircon units. There's 1 here, 2 over here, and 1 up here in the production office. So that's 4 units in total.
I don't like how that's not in the middle.
In the summertime, they'll keep the place nice and cool, and in the wintertime, they'll keep the place nice and warm. And in total, for all
Oh, it's aircon and heating.
of the units, that's including all of the condenser units that are outside, and for all the labour costs, I spent a grand whooping
This is going to be the biggest number.
of £7,015.27 on air conditioning. The Photography Cove. Now, this space is incredible. I've always wanted to own something like this. Basically a blank template to allow you to shoot and set up any kind of setup that you want for filming. Now, there's different ways of how you can build a photography cove. So let me give you some facts first. This is a 6x6 meter L-shaped cove with a 3 meter height. And I feel like I went about it the most cost-effective way as I could. I've done some research about how they get built. And I found this company online that make these fiberglass curved panels, and these curved pieces basically get drilled onto some stud work and create this nice flawless curve that we all desire from a photography cove.
I thought that's how it would have been done anyways.
There you go. I'm in a floating white space. Ooh, I'm in the matrix. There's extra additional costs that I already mentioned before, but just for those curved pieces, it costs £5,941.20. I know some places make the curvature from some sort of shape and then they pour concrete into it, and then this whole curve is nice and solid. Now, that would have been ideal. I would have loved that, but I think the cost of that would have been far greater than what I've already spent on the fiberglass. Also, this little handy device, this is a colorama holder. So it basically consists of 2 light stands and a pole. And what you can do, you can slide paper backdrops onto here, which creates a background, or you can like hang a curtain, or just, you know, use it as an overhead camera rig as well. And this one cost me £130. But I didn't just stop there with, you know, a basic colorama
Thanks for the follow.
A motorized,
the more dark one,
holder. So
the small dark one.
A motorized 4-way colorama holder.
Currently, we're watching Oh, I can't connect the chat. Currently we're watching Cons the total cost to build my dream YouTube studio. We just watched a more Sidemen video. If you do want to watch them later, you can go and watch them on YouTube, which is Malakai 0811. However, what are you saying? Type in chat and I'll be able to see, because right now for me it is connecting to chat. But we'll continue with the video for now.
Cost me $329.99, and each of those backdrop colorama holders £60 each, so that's £240 just on paper. So after everything was boarded up, it then needed to be plastered, so then we can carry on with decorating. That included all of the walls that you're seeing inside and outside.
I'm good. How are you, man?
The plastering of the Infinity Cove and the top of all of this wall, and the grand total of plastering added up to £1,645. Again, after that stage, my vision was coming closer and closer to life. We were now ready for the decorating stages. So when it came down to painting of the studio, it's probably one of the most aesthetically important parts to give this whole space life. Initially, I was a bit overwhelmed at the type of prices that were being thrown at me. I started researching people that can maybe come and spray the walls, because I thought, hey, that would be quicker. I was getting prices like £10,000, £5,000, which are way out my budget. So I had to kind of home it in and find out how I can reduce those costs, especially when there's so many surfaces to cover. Literally everything you're looking at, this whole bit, the ceiling here, the floor, all of these extra walls that we've created, all of a sudden needed all of this paint. And in total, we spent £3,174 and 12 pence on painting this whole studio. And that is an all-in price with labor and paint. We even had to rent a huge scaffolding tower for weeks on end, just so the painters and plasterers could reach all of the high up spots in the building. So from what I can remember, it was about £45-ish a week to rent the scaffold tower. And by the end of the whole build, it would have probably been cheaper for me to buy my own scaff tower and then sell it on.
God.
The grand total rental for the scaff tower cost me £874.26. God damn it. When I see things like that, I feel like, yeah, that's money down the drain. Now, all of these costs seem to be quite excessive, but for what I do, I think it's a good synergy of things.
You need it for this.
Of a good opportunity to open up new business ventures.
Because it isn't just you using it at this point, it's you're basically getting other people and for them to use it as well. So it needs to be better than just scrap.
And diversify my revenue streams, because, you know, this place is also available to rent to the public. And also people are wondering like, Con, where are you making all this money from to pay for all this stuff? Remember, in all the vlogs that I show you guys, I'm also going out on film jobs, you know, I'm getting paid for that. There's sponsors that are sponsoring these videos as well, which is a massive help as well. There's you guys watching, the YouTube revenue stream from that. Add that all up together, little by little over the 6 months, it allowed me to fund creative projects like this. So before everybody jumps...
And I make nothing of streaming YouTube, Twitter or Instagram because I'm not popular yet.
Ship and say, wow, Simon must be doing good. Yes, they do, but this also has come from multiple revenue streams. Which brings me on to the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. Now, if you're also someone like me who's looking to diversify your streams of income, or maybe you want to build yourself a personal portfolio where you showcase all of your work, then why not increase your social presence by creating a website on Squarespace? Now, Squarespace is a website builder designed for creatives to build their own website and showcase their work. And without any coding knowledge, you can put together your own website in a matter of hours. And all you need to do to get started is click the link in my description, create an account on Squarespace, and pick a template. And then you can go ahead and customize your template with your own work. It's as easy as that. Now, I built the website for this whole studio on Squarespace as well, and it looks very clean. And not only does it look amazing on desktop devices, but it's also optimized for mobile devices. And one particular feature that I love from Squarespace is its video backgrounds feature. This can turn an already nice looking Squarespace template into a stunning one. Now, this feature lets you use YouTube or Vimeo URLs to create a looped video background for your website. I personally love the scheduling feature, and I've used it for the website of this studio. So whenever you want to make a booking, you go on the website, you click book, you select your time slot, you make your payment, add your notes, and that's it. That's how easy a booking can be created for a business. But yeah, if you want to book it for yourself and bring down your video crew here and film whatever you want, more than welcome to do that. Check out my website, and then somebody from the team will reach back out to you and welcome you to this space so you can shoot any project you want in here. And because Squarespace has sponsored today's video, I'm able to offer a 14-day free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website, use my code KONSTANTIN to get 10% off your purchase. The link
I'm making a website for my course, and I really don't want to anymore because it's so boring, but I wish we could just use Squarespace or something and just cheat, but we have to make it legit.
Link is in the description, so give that a click and check it out for yourself. Huge, beautiful, custom fitted mirror installed for £550. Wow. It really expands the whole scope of the studio and makes it feel bigger than it is. And how can
I don't like the tight space with the green grass to start with.
Forget to mention these amazing hex lights that cost
They're sick as well.
£99.96. Because compared to these LED lights over here, which are about 20 quid each, and I've got 7 of them, spent 150 quid on these type of lights. I feel like the money was worth it because these add so much more personality to such a boring space. This is just an entry walkway. I feel like when you enter the studio, you should be amazed and wooed. Think of Unbox Therapy. He films in like a whole room full of lights, like he's in the Batcave, right? Think he needs that? No, he wants it because it's cool. We also have the house lights. Now the house lights are these tube light looking ones, and I paid £36.98 per unit. So I have 4 up here and 2 upstairs. So in total, I spent £221.88.
This is racking up so quick, and we're only halfway through.
So the total cost of all of the lighting put together, £972.27. Just to light this whole building, I spent a total of £2,000.
Yeah, dumb. That's a dumb move.
£96.80.
No need.
Artificial greenery. One of the things I really wanted to focus on was optimizing the space I have to use and to be able to create cool backdrops wherever I can. And I feel like with this foliage wall, I've achieved just that. This is a whole completely brand new look that you can use when you're filming in the studio. And to create this whole wall, I use a company called Blooming Artificials, where you get to buy square panels of different types of foliage. You can hang it up in any type of pattern that you want. Now, it sounds like I spent a lot on artificial plants.
Yes, you did, bro.
I think I would have spent way more on actual living greenery, because I would have had
You should have just not bought any.
to keep buying it like every week. I can't look after stuff like that. I can hardly look after myself. Also, this is a great tool that I use very often to dress a set. I might put a plant in the background and it just makes the set look a lot nicer. Acoustic panels. Now, I have 32 of these bad boys stuck to the ceiling.
Where?
The purpose of them is to reduce the echo and reverb in the room. The grand total cost of all of the panels in the studio added up to £2,458.80. Talk about flooring now. This floor had to be self-leveled. It was all very cracked up and it was very uneven. So, big job to self-level so much. So, self-leveling happened.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if I got the best price out of this, because it sounds a bit too much. I paid £2,350. And that includes all the materials and labour as well. Now,
that doesn't sound bad.
To get different quotes, I just settled on my first one. I don't know if it was the greatest quotes or not, but it got done in a day and I was very happy with it. Floors in the green room. These are carpet tiles.
Yep.
Ooh, looks like we've got a leak going on. That's not good. The grand total of carpet tiles here were £191.96. Shout out to B&Q. I also had flooring upstairs installed. Went for some laminate flooring that I got in B&Q, and the price per square meter was £12 for this specific flooring. And if I can pronounce it correctly, because I know my Australian viewers will hate me, Bundaberg flooring, that's what it's called. But if you're looking for it in B&Q, it's called Bundaberg. And to cover this area cost me £267.96. When it comes to the storage rooms, I didn't bother putting the flooring all the way through there because I feel like it would just be wasted. High chairs, stools, sitting stuff.
I don't like these chairs.
They're about 33 quid each. I got 8 of them, and in total I spent £280. Makeup mirrors, I had to get 2 of them. Got them from IKEA and set me back £58. Now the lighting for this area, these light bulbs and this metal thing were purchased separately. So this metal thing that holds the light bulbs cost £19 each, and we needed 3 of them. So that's £57 spent on just these. Now for the light bulbs, we need 15 of these. They come in a pack of 2 for £4.50 each. So in total, I spent £57 on these light bulbs. This worktop was purchased from £79.20. And we managed to get 2 cuts from it. One for the makeup table, and then the other one for a little breakfast bar. These shelves were also from IKEA and they cost £5 each.
Okay.
So 10 off on the shelves. And now we move on to Con's coffee corner. That doesn't have any coffee in it yet.
Nice.
Boiling water machine, and that cost me £149.99. Could have probably gone for a £5 kettle and a £140 coffee machine. Frustratingly, there's no plumbing available to my unit. So annoyingly, I can't install like a little sink and a tap. The fridge, a great Amazon purchase. I've got one of these in my gym building as well, which a follow-up video on that video will be coming up very soon.
Yes.
The bad boy fridge was £239.
The bad boy fridge.
We've got small things like this condiment station that was like £25. We've got a bin, 15 quid. Clothing rail, £69.98. A steamer, £120. This mechanical key combo lock, £15. Let's talk about desks. Bosh, this desk was actually a gift from FlexiSpot. Not only is it a desk, it's a standing desk, so I can press buttons. This one, £320. The one upstairs, it's a slightly bigger desk, so it comes with a bigger price tag, £420. Keyboard, gift from Glasses. Look at that, bless him. I love this keyboard. The monitor was a gift from Dell, and this is their 32-inch ultra sharp monitor with a built-in webcam. And the cost of these is £1,200. So that's £1,200 saving for me, as this was gifted by Dell. So thank you very much, guys. We've got one more desk. It's just a small little 60 by 60, and this was around 60 quid. So with 2 of the desks being gifted to me, there's a total saving of £740. So if any other companies want to send me any more cool stuff that you think I can showcase in the studio, and it will be a benefit of to you, I do love a standing standing desk. So shout out to FlexiSpot for providing me these standing desks. Pretty much all of my setup videos, I've been using FlexiSpot desks, and they're very reliable and a very good quality build. Now, if you watched a previous challenge of how we created this setup in 1 hour, I use these decorative panels to make the wall look less boring in this room. And these panels cover this whole area of wall, cost me £159. And this 3-meter LED strip from Govee cost £59. So this trolley that can hold all of these different lights and keep your kit organized, it's called a heavy duty light stand, and it cost me £431.99. 400 quid.
Oh my God.
What looks like a clothing rail. I mean, this plastic trolley that I put all my bags on as well, this was £179. This wooden slat thing, I managed to pick it up for free from somebody who was trying to throw it away. So I was like, don't worry, I'll take it off your hands. At the same time when I was doing that, I managed to have the van that will transport it to the studio. So that was a good coincidence. CCTV, I've got a camera here. I've got a camera in the kit room. I've got a 360 camera over here. And I've got some cameras outside of the unit. I've got heat and smoke detectors. I've got little alarms that are placed everywhere. And all of that cost me £4,237.
This is really adding up.
Security shutters cost me £2,256. And I guess that, paired with the alarm and the CCTV system, gives me a peace of mind at night, knowing that it will be a lot harder for somebody to break into this place. Now, there are some other small recurring costs, such as waste disposal. I pay £15 a week for a big wheelie bin, like a wheelie big bin. Got pretty decent internet here, £39 a month. So over the past 6 months of having this place, I spent £290 on internet. Electricity bill, I'm on a fixed rate tariff, and so far I've spent £1,139. I haven't really done a deep dive in any of the videography kit that I have, such as light stands, but I feel like I don't need to because it's stuff I already had before the studio anyway. However, this specific light stand I did have to purchase recently for the studio, and this light stand cost me £431. But, oh yeah, I had to buy a bunch of these as well. These are like 120 quid per thing, and then I bought wheels for them as well. For this next and final cost, I'm going to tell you how much I paid for the labor of this whole project. Now, this was a 6-month project, so this price is 6 months worth of labor essentially. I need to take a seat for this. The total cost for labor, 6 months worth of work here for, you know, many different outsourced people, added up to £35,379.38.
Con, you could have done it yourself.
Like that, it sounds like a hell of a lot, but over the 6 months and the amount of people that were involved and the amount of time they've spent here in this place making it what it is now, I feel like it was money very well spent, because that's the price you pay for good quality workmanship. And that brings the whole grand total of the YouTube studio build to £85,232.91.
Okay.
That's how much I spent for this studio over the past 6 months. Okay,
Oh,
so a couple of good things.
I wonder what,
including that. So some of that I will be able to.
I wonder what his budget was when he wanted to start. What his like estimated budget was. What he thought he would spend. What he trimmed it down to, and what his max limit was.
To get back. That has been the full studio build breakdown cost. I've had a blast over the past 6 months building it and seeing the project come to life. Also, I want to give a big thank you to everybody who had a part in this project, you know, down from decorators, painters, builders, carpenters. All of you guys have smashed it. I'm really loving this space, so thank you very much. And as cheesy as this is gonna sound, but thank you to everybody at home watching these videos and supporting them, because without you guys, honestly, I couldn't have done it as well. Also got plenty of cool stuff to share with you guys.
Go subscribe to Con
in the new year. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later.
What are you guys saying about that video? I think it was sick. His whole new studio. At least it's done now. He's gonna stay here for probably like 8 years. Yeah, I think overall it was a benefit, and in the long run he will make all of that money back, obviously, or he wouldn't have done this. But yeah, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you later in a bit. Take care and peace.